called a chop. And a chop is a stamp that has your name or a symbol that represents the artist that makes the clay vessel, the boat. And so this one's just my name.
Ah. Okay.
Ooh. Ooh la la. Oh, you bad clay. Bad clay. Bad clay. Bad, 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 bad. Look at that one. That's a winner. So they're all drying right now. You can see how that's all the water's gone out of that edge. These are some boats. These little serving boats, platters. This one's got some runaway fishies on it. Oh yeah, this is fabric. That's this. Isn't that cool? We're going to talk about coil pots. And so this is a beginning class. We did pinch pots for the first couple days and pinch sculptures. And now we're working on some coil vessels. Ooh la la. There's convex and there's concave. Do you know the difference? You gotta ask Google, ask AI. 20 of these. This is your assignment. Any kind of pinch pot, and don't be scared to get stuck like making something perfect. And if you don't like it, you can just go back to the wedging table and don't get too attached. You can wedge it up and you can try to make another one, okay? Especially in the beginning, you wanna try a whole bunch of things. Take the material and push it past like what it's capable to do. It's physical limits, like how far can you take it, stretch it, pinch it, how thin can it be, how big can you go? And every time you get to that spot and then maybe it falls or slumps or breaks, you're gonna learn a lot about the material and like how you specifically are working with it. The more you do, the better you get. That's the ticket. And so here's my canvas. Here's my pinch pot. Now, you could push this as far as you want. You can make it a perfect triangle or a square, or it's completely up to you. It's important that you don't get stuck on just one piece. And part of that is that the clay needs time to set up too. You can only build so big before you have too much weight for the strength of the clay underneath that it's gonna collapse. And so often, and then you let the outside, God forbid, you put it outside in the sun. Some potters do it. Grow a pot. Literally, you can leave the clay out in the open and it still takes like a week for it to dry. So here's my coil. And then I'm gonna take half of this coil and I'm gonna push it into the coil below, or the pinch pot or the slab below. And so I'm just gonna get in here and I'm gonna start to work this. All right, so let's roll out another one. This is marbled clay, and so this is a white stoneware, which would be relatively white, and then this is a heavy iron clay, which is in reduction, will turn like a really dark rust color. Rule of thumb, we always say, don't ever mix two different types of clay, right? This is the one exception, which is called marbling, and he mixed them enough that in between this clay and that clay, they're mixed together enough that there's a third intermediary clay that helps with that expansion and contraction that happens with different types of clays. This is a common thing that people do, that wave, that cornucopia, the image of, it's like we nomadic tribes, we were here and now we left, but we will return. So anyways, don't do the bottom as one of these, otherwise guaranteed it's gonna crack, even if you work it out on both sides. And now one of you might actually try it and it might work. I'm just talking like rule of thumb, I would say a majority of time, like clay will remember and often do this kind of cracking. For some reason though, you could do them on the side of the pot. It's important that you don't leave a lot of burrs like this. And the reason being is that it doesn't feel so sharp now, but once that gets fired and then you put a thin layer of glass on it, that could be like a razor blade. We call them burrs. And so you always want to go back and soften up or hit it with a little bit of a sponge, or you just want to compress it with your fingers. Ergonomics is so important. Then you could feel if something's like a little offensive or a little bit sharp. If something comes out of the final kiln and it's dangerous, you know not to let it go out into public, right? What's this even looking like? Whoa, stop it. That's like I'm getting some ideas, but I don't necessarily want to talk about them all the time, you know? My ideas might be different than your ideas, and do you see what I see? Sometimes. Add some more clay. And I'm not going to be able to go too far because it's going to be slumping down here. I'm going to have to let it dry. You guys see what I'm talking about? You picking up what I'm putting down? Like, maybe there could be, I don't know. That's up to you to decide. This I made just a couple minutes before class, and it's already like stiff. Clay shouldn't be, rule of thumb is that it shouldn't be thicker than an inch. Some people even like to use a paddle. They go back and they paddle. I don't know. What do you think? I have a terminal degree in this, just to let you know. Hey, hey. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Ooh, the old whiskey jug. He needs a mustache, I think. One of those, you know, one that comes around and goes up like this. Ooh, yeah. Oh, yes. Have a good day. We could talk about the novella, right? Or the chisma, whatever kind of gossip drama is going on. Like, we could do some of that.